This is John Cleese Car Audio's YouTube channel. Today we've got a Toyota Yaris Cross in with us. Toyota X Cross. Toyota Yaris X Cross. Is it? Oh, I was going to say Yaris. It is a Yaris, isn't it?
A few moments later.
Oh yeah, there you go, Yaris Cross, not X Cross, that's a Suzuki. It's the Yaris Cross, which has come in because it's too noisy when he's driving. It needs some soundproofing added. The customer is complaining there is way too much road noise, and compared to other cars they have and other cars they've owned in the past, this one is just notoriously much worse. Now they've watched a video we've done of another one of these cars on our channel, which you can also watch, where we soundproofed key areas, which we always start with if we're going to do it in stages, because you can imagine you can soundproof a whole car, yes, problem solved most of the time. But sometimes that's not affordable, it doesn't fit with customers' budgets. Key areas we did in the last video, and what we're also doing in this one is all four doors properly. And when I say properly, I mean probably between 4 or 5 layers, depending on what the door card allows us to squish behind it, of soundproofing in. We're going to do the whole boot area and the rear arches, because the customer has actually done a bit of a proper test in this car with a decibel meter prior to bringing it in, and he's noted that actually most of the road noise is coming from behind him. So we will massively concentrate on the rear. So the whole floor is getting done. As you can see, we've already started actually. Simon over there has already made a start and gone ahead, which is fair enough, but we don't always get time to come down. But we started and we've done the whole boot. We're going to do all the rear arches behind the scenes here. We're going to do the area underneath the rear seat where the area allows us to, because there's batteries and stuff underneath the rear seat. What we're doing is a mixture of a few different materials. What you're looking at right now is Silent Coat 4mm, which is a very thick product. We're going with that to begin with, and then we're going to put on layers of liner, Thermo Acoustic liner on top, and then we're going to do a mass loaded vinyl on top of the boot floor to get the boot completely sealed. The doors are going to have a mixture of 4mm, 3mm and Dodo Acoustic liner as well, and we're also going to treat the area behind the factory speakers with soundproofing material that's more designed for sound acoustics. So we're going to try and improve the sound while we're in it, because customer's not having a speaker upgrade, but we may as well put the material in. Just keep watching, because we're going to show the whole way around this video of how we do it. Through the first day, and Simon is currently making his way into the arches, as you can see over there. Yeah, hopefully by the end of today and tonight the boot should all be done, but that is a right arse to get into there, because you've only got one hole, mate, and these sides are bloody sharp. Where's your gloves?
In the bag.
You should be wearing them, mate, really. Health and safety. Right, quick update on the Yaris. Just been updating the customer, that's why I had my phone out. The vehicle boot is now pretty much fully soundproof with the first layer of Silent Coat 4mm. We're going right into the wheel arches, and when I say right in, I can't even feel the end with my arm right here. Simon's managed to go all the way down there, and that's the only access point. We're going to put another layer on top in there. We're going to put a Thermo Acoustic liner on top, and then if we can fit it, we're also going to put a Barrier Pro, it's called. It's a rubber top with a liner underneath designed to reduce road noise further. That will be going in there on both sides, and then we're also going to lay that on top, but you'll see that as and when we go through. We've taken the Silent Coat all the way to the under seats as well, so down here towards where the battery system is. And then next thing, we're going to go onto the doors. Now the doors on these cars have nothing in them. Like, you wouldn't believe how light they feel when you're opening and closing them. And I'll give it a bit of a rap with my knuckle so you can hear the sound of the doors before soundproof. The mic should pick it up. And then what we'll do is when we soundproof the doors, which will probably be tomorrow if we don't make a start on it today, and I'll do a little knock test as well and you'll be able to hear that. But what we've got to get on now is actually soundproofing the plastics that go back on over the boot. We'll come back in a few hours and see how Simon's getting on with that. Before we go on to the doors, we're finishing off the boot area. All the metalwork in the boot is done, as you saw, but what you've actually also got to soundproof is you've got to do the plastic panels, believe it or not, because the more layers of soundproofing you do, the less road noise you'll have. So if you can do outer skin and obviously the plastic, you're going to reduce your road noise even more. So this is the rear boot panel in its glory, and as you can see, we've fully covered it with the Dodo 4mm, applied it as strong as we can. So what we do is we don't just lay it on with like a roller. You almost can't see, actually you can't see the pattern of the soundproofing left anymore, because we really get the end of a blunt instrument and properly get it on, because the better adhesion, the better results you're going to get. You shouldn't be able to put your finger under a corner of soundproofing and just pull it off. It should literally stay on completely. So that's full 4mm coverage of the panel itself. So that means it's got like 2 layers in this area. And then what we're also going to do is we are going to put on a Thermo acoustic insulation layer on top, just because we might as well while we got it off, which is more for thermal properties opposed to road noise, but it will reduce it somewhat. And what we're going to use on this, because what we've got thickness to allow us, is we're going to put a 5mm on. In some instances we'll use like a 10, a 12 or a 15, but the panel sits quite close to the metal. So we're going to put this on. And even with this material, it can't go fully coverage, because there's positions on this panel which basically touches right up against our soundproof panel. So at the end of the day, as much as road noise is paramount, you also want to have your car put back together properly. So that is also important. Simon is currently in the boot just finishing off the other side of this, which I think is nearly back together, but we'll come back to that. But then he's going to get onto this, and hopefully we'll get a quick clip of this with a bit of liner on before it goes back in. And then yeah, door cards next, and doors. That's fine. You don't need to disappear from the camera, Simon. You're doing the job. And if by magic, Simon has done the liner on the inner panel here. A few more bits to cover, as you can see. But yeah, that's the 5mm Thermo acoustic liner gone on the panel here, which is the inside panel. And then in the vehicle, you'll see that we also attached that liner on top of the wheel arch there, and also behind the wheel arch, all in this area here. So you saw that was all silver earlier with the Dodo 4mm, and this is 12mm going on. So where we don't have problems with panels going back on, so open voids like this, we'll always put a thicker material on. So you got 6mm on the back of the rear boot panel, and then you got 12mm in the rear arch area. And also on top of the Dodo 4mm underneath the rear bench, again the same, we put the liner on top of that as well. Really trying to give multiple layers and as much soundproofing as possible where possible. Well underway with the doors. We're going to do the same wrap test, because we've fully soundproofed the rear door, but the actual rear door card isn't actually back on yet. But I'll show you that shortly. Unsoundproofed door sounds like this, as I showed you earlier. And then a fully soundproof door, completely different. Now if I open the door, I'll try and show you what we've done. We've actually put the factory water shedder back on, but the other side's removed. So we'll go over there shortly and you can see behind the scenes. But what we've done on the outer skin of this, we've got the Silent Coat 4mm covering the full outer bit, which is the bit I was knocking a second ago. Then on top of that, we've put the 6mm Dodo Superliner on top. Customer has said that most of the issues with road noise is actually coming from behind. So we've gone a little bit further on the rear doors, because that's what the customer pointed the main issue was, rather than the front. We've then put the Silent Coat 4mm on the inner skin as well, behind this water shedder. And then this car has actually got a factory JBL audio system upgrade. He doesn't think it's that great, so while we were in there, even though soundproofing will make the speaker sound better, we've also added a wave diffuser material behind the speaker as well, which helps with mid-bass, gives you a bit more control over the speaker. Now if you go to the other side, you'll see before the water shedder goes on, you can actually see the outer skin and what it looks like before we put the liner on. So this is the Dodo 4mm. And then what happens is we put a 6mm liner on top of this, so the customer's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of soundproofing on the rear doors, because we've also going to do the door card as well. And that is the wave diffuser material you can see right there. It's quite dark, but it's like an eggshell start material. And then I'll show you the door card. Door cards are here. These are the rear door cards. The 2 layers that make up the 5 layers are on the door card itself. You can just about see the Dodo 4mm, which we applied to all the plastic. You've got 4mm fully covering the inner skin, and then we put the 15mm acoustic Dodo liner on top. So these doors are going to be, well, they're going to be more soundproof than a brand new Range Rover door card. And then this is what they look like completely undone. Light, flimsy, No soundproofing whatsoever, full solid soundproof door card after. Keep watching and we'll show you front door shortly. The near side rear door is basically complete before door card goes back on. Show you a bit behind the water shedder, which I couldn't show you on the other side. This is the 6mm Thermo acoustic liner that's put on top of the 4mm silent coat, which is this stuff here basically, in essence. Dodo super liner they call it. It's an additional layer of soundproofing, but it also works for thermal properties as well to reduce heat in summer and to keep warmer in winter. And then the factory water shedder will go back on. And then if you come over to the other room, you can now see the door card before we put the 15mm liner on. So this is what the door card I showed you earlier in the video before we put this on top. So this is the 4mm on the door card. Put it on first, and then this is the, well, it's not a template. We've actually, Simon's cut that to shape, ready to go on with all the cut out for the clips. So that way the actual, each clip, factory clip will also go back into the door, meaning this door card will go back on and sit on exactly how it came off. So the idea of this is soundproof as much as possible, but not know we've been in there. All right, and so I'm going to lay it on so you can see how it's going to look, and it will look exactly like it's a jigsaw puzzle. Hang on a minute. Right, that goes in like that, and look at that, eh? Fits perfectly. Only took me 4 attempts. There you go.
There is another section to go here, but I just to give you an idea.
Yeah, completed it, mate. Shuts just like a Golf.
Shakes the car and shut the doors.
Shuts just like a Golf though. Another update on the Toyota Yaris Cross. The front doors are nearly done, which means we're nearing the completion of this job. That's a right slog of 4 days work so far. But how we're doing is the outer skin is fully done with Dodo 4mm, which is the same on the rear doors. And then we've also got skins 2mm on the full inner skin, covering as much as possible, including the access panel to get to the outer skin, which is this bit here. Again, fully serviceable from Toyota or anyone else going forward. This access panel can still be removed to access window regulators and as such, meaning whatever work that may need doing in the future is still fine. You don't have to take the soundproofing off. We've also put the wave diffuser material behind the door speaker to try and improve the factory upgrade audio system in this. You can't see the outer skin on this side because he's already put the inner skin back on, but if you go over, if you mosey on over to the driver's side where Simon is currently risking his hands being cut up, this is what it looks like on the driver's side door before the inner skin soundproofed at all. And then all you've got is access through that hole and through the speaker hole to put the soundproofing in, but we do get all the way up into the hole. That's the silent coat 4mm on the outer skin. And then what we're going to move on to after that is the door cards. Again, just like the rear door cards, we then do the front door cards with 2 layers as well. I've mentioned this twice so far, but it's really hard to see once these products are fitted inside the doors, but this is the wave diffuser material. This helps with giving you more control over the mid bass, stop standing waves and such, but this is behind all 4 speakers. It's not about road noise removal on this. This is really why we've got door cards in. We might as well make the factory audio system sound better, even though it will sound better anyway, because once you fully soundproof a car or even soundproof this much, factory sound systems always sound better, but this is just going one stage further with it. This is the door card on the front of the Toyota. Before we soundproof it, I thought we'd give you a quick clip before we put the TLC and our touch to this. This is one side and then the other side's over there. So in a minute, you're gonna see this fully soundproofed as well. It's probably going to be the last clip before this car's fully put back together. What we've got here is we've got the front door completely finished and we've got the door card now completely done. 5 layers, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 layers of soundproof in the front doors. So you've got the outer skin with 4mm with a 5mm liner on top. You've then got 2mm on the inner skin. You then got 2mm on the door card, and then you've got the 15mm Dodo acoustic liner. So that's ready to go back on. And then we're going to put the car back together, and then I'm going to close the video after that. But the customer is actually going to do a decibel test on this, believe it or not, when it's finished, because he actually did an SPL decibel test before he had this done. So keen to hear the results on that one, but I won't hear on that for a couple of weeks. I'll probably get him to reply to the video anyway with his results, because it's always nice to hear from the customer's mouth as to how much of a difference it's made. Toyota Yaris Cross is all back together, fully finished. Quick brief summary of what we've done. Soundproofed the front and rear doors completely, 5 layers in each door itself. We've done the whole boot completely, we've done under the rear seats, done a bit on the tailgate plastic as much as we can get into, and we've done obviously all the rear arches with a multiple amount of soundproofing, which you've seen. Customer's going to give us his feedback, I'm sure, on his drive home. We know it's going to make a huge difference. You don't have to notice that by how much we've actually put in here. We've actually added circa 45 kilos of weight if you're interested in that. But the customer's going to get a decibel reading on the road he's done before he had it soundproof, so we'll actually see tangible differences as to what it's done. But what's more important is how the customer hears the difference when he's driving, which I know is going to be a difference. But we're going to hopefully get some feedback in our comment section from the owner of this vehicle, so keep watching. My name is Connor. I've got Max not behind the camera, actually. Simon is currently recording, who multi-talented. He soundproofed the car and he's actually recording me right now. Max has gone off to pick up a brand new courtesy car for John Cleese Car Audio. So anyway, I'm finishing the video now. This is Connor. See you later.